Now, immediately after the elections, on the 14th of December 2024, did the NPP regional executives not set up a committee to investigate what led to the or caused their defeat? Was there not a report? There was a report that was submitted. The chairman's committee that submitted a comprehensive report, which report got leaked. And who told them the report that they claim is not leaked, is not out there? Even the Japanese book that was ruling this country got leaked. Something that was in the bosom of the presidency got leaked. How much more this report? Was it not typed by somebody? Now let's excuse us. Everyone in this country knows what led to the defeat of the MPP. And it was amply captured in their Ashanti region report. They said it was in two parts: governance issues and internal issues. On the governance issues, you and I know how dilapidating, how the existing, what were they expecting? That there was a special breed of people who would be doing inflation at 23% and still do better than the one that was doing 15.4%. And so mathematically, they were supposed to do worse than John Mahama in 2016. And that was what the Ghanaian, a gallon of diesel at 14 cedis. A gallon of diesel. That some of us said it was uncalled for. It was only interest in this world is money. Money. Everything is money. Yes, money is good, but it's not everything that has to be monetized. Your health is important. A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. They were told that galamsey was a major problem. Deal with it. Their members of parliament, are you Dr. Are you a free year? Napo himself, they were encouraged. In fact, Are You a Free Year told us that they were not going to stop galamsey today nor tomorrow. And that all these things are happening in MPP. People will be beating left and go and mention the name of his Alhaji. The next day, your name is crossed out of the party. So, did you? That led to their defeat because of the way and manner he was talking loosely. Everybody knows that he has been talking loosely, but you were eulogizing him. I'm not a fan of Kennedy, because if you are talking about people who are also part of the problem in the MPP, he was part of the problem. Initially, he was supporting that nonsense that was going on in the party. He was supporting Bawumia, as you have been told by Atendo Markins, his bosom friend. Atendo told us in an interview that he and Kennedy were supporting Bawumia before all of a sudden he came to tell the world that he was going to contest as a flag bearer. So you were part of those that were strategizing to alienate Alhaji from the system. I don't have empathy and sympathy for him. What? And you believe you me, they are underestimating why Ghanaians kick them out, and they are underestimating the anger in the Ghanaian in getting them out. They are underestimating it. It was not a fluke. I see a number of people say that our people didn't vote. Our people didn't vote. Who in the MPP did not vote? They should tell us. The national chairman of the NPP did not vote. All the constituency executives did they not vote. Who in the NPP are they saying did not vote? For which reason they got that performance? Granted ideals and principles that based on it the organization was formed. And you know where it is today, that you have deviated entirely from the ideals and principles or any pastor or prophet anywhere to tell you that this was a party that was already heading into the deep seas. But watch out for our incoming new party, political party. And also I want to admonish all NPP supporters, the patriots, to ready themselves. For the only way they can be relevant in the annals of Ghana's politics is to begin to watch out and join and block the new political party that will be coming, that will be upholding the principles of free market enterprise, principles of love.
This is the Mother of All Talk Shows. We are talking about the New Patriotic Party this morning. And I'll come to a member of the party now.
And he's inviting the New Patriotic Party, young guys within the New Patriotic Party to join and all that. And I was flabbergasted when you yourself were quiet listening to him, because I thought that you could have, pinpointed to him that, are you no longer in the butterfly, political party? So it tells us that, look, the New Patriotic Party needs to actually identify certain elements. It is a private institution, so they chooses which particular, as it were, editorial policies and etc that they want to do. That, for me, I don't have any problem with that. But to the extent that if you want to say that you are a media house that are championing issues of democracy and all that, a level-headed political party have written to you severally, made copious complaints to you about the unfairness and all those particular matters, and you choose issues that I want to talk about. Now, and of course I also get the sense from the Deputy General Secretary of the party, who actually indicated that there shall be a very early Congress somewhere in July that would also ensure that and going to be a semblance of trying to correct those particular problems of the galamsey. Anything short of that,
we'll go to that.
I know, but I understand that. Of course, you waded into that particular issue. You talked about that, and I took a cue from you. Anyway, so for me, that particular postulation. So for me, as a student of research, I believe in those particular 2008 election. The leadership of the party should try as much as it can to be able to mend those particular infractions and this issue of this particular, and bring together all people who got annoyed, and they forgive each other. We forgive each other. I believe that we should be able, or we would be able to recapture power. But if you allow the status quo to continue, where people think or look at themselves as thin goals, is that okay? Where they go, they are just throwing their weight about and all that. And at the end of the day, these are some of the issues. I don't want to speak mad, because I am very careful as to, because this is a dicey topic which actually needs a sober reflection. Otherwise, I don't want the New Patriotic Party would also have to follow the same kind of trajectory, so that you can be able to grow. These are some of the things that are killing political parties, because somebody who knows an appointee and start raining praises on him also, and those who were actually fronting and dying for the party on social media, on mainstream political platform,
so that the party that believed in freedom of expression, now you are afraid to speak your mind.
So you see the mischief.
I can't
you are just like that.
This is serious.
What is that?
That you have concerns and a party that believes the original ideals of the MPP, that believe in freedom of expression, you are sitting here, you are afraid to even speak. Can you imagine?
So you see,
come home, there's a new party. There's a new party. You will be allowed to speak your mind. Don't worry. You will be allowed to speak your mind.
I'm not saying it because I think why President Akufo-Addo campaigned to win the presidency was very simple. It was to better his lot. And the relative, I said it, I know how they think. I said it. Unfortunately for all of us as Ghanaians, people didn't listen. And so today, Sena, you, me, Idrisu, Solo, Uncle Kwesi, we are all and I can tell you for free that when these things happen, it takes generations for even the confidence within the banking sector to recover. And so when today the government goes to seek treasury bills and they don't reach the mark that they intended, it's a fall out from what Ken Ofori-Atta did. Because at one point, he told us that if you have savings, what finance people call risk-free savings, which is the member of parliament for Asante Achim South was poisoned for being the leader of that resistance. Doesn't that say everything about Akufo-Addo and his gang of brigands and buccaneers? Of robbers? I mean, this robbery is what went on. I mean, Idrisu, as an MPP person, my friend and brother Abbas Idrisu, who had just gotten married 3 weeks prior to the election, he was shot and killed. Nothing was done about it. As we speak now, he has absconded justice, ran away, and claims he's not well. So the mess that he has created, that we are still fighting today. The finance minister had to find money, basically squeeze blood out of a rock to pay for the debts that he has left behind. So the MPP, in and of itself, within, they themselves acknowledge that a self-correction must take place. I mean, if you think I'm lying, go back and listen to the things that Kennedy Japan said. She was disrespectfully told that she should get up and leave the place by one of the trio, the holy trio or unholy trio as you call it, the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit. I don't know which of them they are. So he spent 10 years in jails for it. Is he still alive? Is Amate still alive?
No, he's
okay. So, Mr. Protocol, spare us the invectives. The history sits there. If you are not careful, we will remind you of where all the bodies are. We will remind you of where your grandmother was born, because it is or was buried, because it sits there. And a member of parliament, and it took them 18 months to admit it. Senator, do you guys remember? It took them 18 months to admit that that matter had happened. I could go on and on and on and no. Answer my question. Didn't you boycott Alhaji? As for Alhaji and Alhaji, you boycott it intermittently. Ask Solo what he was told for coming here. It's one of the reasons why he left your party. Right? You went, some of you people went as thugs to go and invade Asempa. You could see saying, when Bobby Ansa was the host. Remember what happened? I don't want to mention the names of the people who went there. What else can we say for you? So that you boycott a show is nothing. Today you are sitting here. Fortunately for you, people like you here on a daily, on a weekly basis, so that you can be challenged and given a record of the terrible governance that you have given this country. Unfortunately for people like you, the loot, the stolen money, they didn't give you. Tax-paying citizen. You should be very concerned that $58 million of our money was sent to build a cathedral, a national cathedral, for which there's nothing to report. Go to the site. Even the whole has now been what you should do. They bring people to come and sit in the sovereign state's finance ministry to tell you what to do. They bring people to come and sit in the sovereign state's Bank of Ghana. They try to tell you what to do. Totally unnecessary. So, Mr. Idrisu, let me end here by asking you that it will be very good before your next submission you will lose, but when you lose, use it to learn that people like Akufo-Addo should never ever govern a country again. None of him or his assassins. I recently saw pictures of him celebrating his birthday in peace, right? In peace, with all his acolytes and assassins around him. It reminded me of pictures after the 1945, the second war, after the Second World War ended, when the Nazis gather in South America and take pictures. The only difference is that in this particular instance, Hitler is still alive and can kick it. But he was there in peace. Nobody has raided his home. Nobody has surrounded him. Nobody has thrown his things out of his house, like was done to President Mahama. So Ghanaians are enjoying the peace. Sena, thank you very much for entertaining me here. Thank you very much for continuously inviting me. And like I said, for those who think that they will not see me here because...
this is Jonas Jesse who says, Sena, please tell protocol to leave Solo alone and direct his anger to Kennedy, Ejapon, and Kusibuafo. When both said MPP party, he said MPP party, this is a quote, you said MPP party is stupid, foolish, and they don't know why they belong to this useless political party. Akufo-Addo is like a dead tree standing with a rotten root. Again, Napo also made a comment to the Ashantis in a rally in Kumasi that as for the Ashanti people, they only need T-shirts, 10 Ghana cedis to vote for the MPP. His protocol saying he didn't hear about some of these comments. If he has nothing to say, he should stop attacking Solo. Alhaji to me. But now, who among MPP can get the attention of Ghanaians for the presidency? Is it Honorable Ken? Please tell Comrade Pratt that the man now in the MPP, if he put up himself for the presidency, he will win hands down against the capitalist party that are so good in moving as socialists. Let's send that. Thank you very much for coming. Ibrahim Traore says Ibrahim Traore has achieved in 3 years what NDC and MPP haven't been able to achieve in 30 years of misgovernment.
Whether there are elements and factors who can prevent that implosion. and I haven't seen one yet. There's so many which it appears that these trends would never have a converging point. And that is the worry. That must be the worry for those who sacrifice so much in order to establish this party. And I mention in particular Mr. Victor Owusu Jr. of Kumasi. Very sad today, given what is happening in the party today. You see, in the party today, it's a trend. And that trend, the public face of that trend, is Sarah Adwoa-Safo. That's the public face of that trend. And that trend simply says that no matter what happens, we are bringing back Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as flag bearer of the party for the 2028 elections. And that we are ready to fight in order to make sure that that happens. That's the trend. And appears to be a strong trend in the party. Then you have another trend in the party. It appears also to be a strong trend within the party. Then there's another trend in the party. It's ably represented by people like Boachie Jakun, Atakwabena Kennedy, and others, who feel that a party is a body of values, core values, and that the New Patriotic Party got to this stage because it abandoned its core values. So this group of people said that, look, we can rebuild the New Patriotic Party only if we return to the core values. Now, it's interesting to identify people who are in this trend. You know, these are largely intellectuals. These are largely people who are driven by ideological considerations. These are people who have been in the trenches till today. Young, well, now not too young, but young then, who sincerely believe that the New Patriotic Party can be built around core issues and so on. Then there's another group within the party which is also not weak. I mean, its strength can match all the different trends quite well. Who says that, look, we have wrecked the party. We have destroyed the party. The party has a horrible image. And that we cannot go into another election successfully if we go with the New Patriotic Party. So therefore, it is important to establish a new political party, to abandon the New Patriotic Party, and to build a new political force which can give the people of Ghana hope. We can provide a leadership at the University of Science and Technology. But there are many others. I mean, Solomon Owusu sitting here believes in that, you understand? And there are many others who believe in this trend. Now let us abandon this New Patriotic Party. It is defective, it is destroyed. We have to campaign on the legacy of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And that without the legacy of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we are not going anywhere at all. So Nana Akufo-Addo becomes the center of mobilization and organization for going forward. You see that the trends are many. Then there's another trend which simply says that, look, the party is in the state in which it is today largely because of the negative legacy the committee says that it has finished its work. Indeed, it has written a report. A Kwesibote example. How can you beat the National Democratic Congress when at every stage you want to copy them? It's incredible. This is a party which actually wants to beat the National Democratic Congress. But at every stage, if you listen to the report or not the report, is to publish the report. You understand? Now, what is so damning in the report that you want to hide it from the rest of us? You are telling us that you did some things which are so bad that if we get to know, we will never trust you again. That's what you are telling us. This morning, I saw something on social media. I laughed. I'm hoping that it is not true. I'm sure to find out why it lost the elections. Then there's something wrong with that party. Because everybody knew. We were told that we were losing the elections. Global Info Analytics every week was telling you that you were losing the elections. This is why we are losing the elections. Then we went and got some God-forsaken professor from Kumasi to go and do a counter survey who showed that Bawumia was way ahead. And we were happy. And that professor, you know, I met him somewhere. He's a friend of mine. I met him.
Where Professor Sapon?
Please, I deliberately didn't mention the name.
For purposes of discussion.
Two, that you are throwing bombs at Nkrumah and so on, and you want to win an election. You should go and ask President John Ajekun Kufuor. For President John Ajekun Kufuor to win elections, do you know what he did? They actually erected billboards of him and Nkrumah. You remember? Billboards of him and Nkrumah smiling together. And he insisted that he was going to work with the CPP if he came to power and so on. It galvanized his campaign and so on. Now, even Nana Akufo-Addo's campaign, benefited from the fact that at one stage he was a member of the Convention People's Party. So people saw him as one of their own and so on. You decided to jettison that. You decided to say all manner of derogatory things about Nkrumah and so on. And you expected, consistently opposed to E-levy. You introduced it. So between you and Mahama, who do you expect the Ghanaian people to believe will abolish E-levy if they hand over power to you? This is the campaign you launched. John Mahama comes and says, well, if I win, I won't govern this country with more than 60 ministers. Then quickly you come and say, as for me, I will govern with 50 ministers. You expect people to believe you? Do you expect people to believe you? So it was a horrible campaign which was not. And then one regional chairman, as for him, oh Jesus. For me, it is interesting that that lady has become the center of attraction in the New Patriotic Party. This is a lady who actually believes that her father is able to fly in the night without aircraft. Magically fly in the night from here to any part of the world if you mention the father's name. I think it was the same guy who said that if Muhammad wins the election, he will change his nationality. He's still there. He's still in Kumasi, carrying a Ghanaian passport. So we are going into an election, a crucial election like this one, and you tell us that you can vote wherever you want to vote. We don't care. We will go into the ballot box and change the results. And you believe this stupidity. Really incredible things were said. And you allowed it. And then they came up with this idea that indeed the whole election was a dancing competition. parties. And that is the reason why people like me want to wish the New Patriotic Party well. I really want to wish the New Patriotic Party well. But it is not our wishes which will transform that party. Yes, sir, it is not our wishes. The party itself has a responsibility to respect its core values. The party itself has a responsibility to put knowledgeable and responsible people into positions of leadership. The party itself has a responsibility to itself to understand the Ghanaian condition. If we don't do that, well, it is possible that some other party can spring up and offer the NDC the challenge it needs. If you don't do that, it is possible that your party can go into extinction. If you don't do that, so many possibilities await you in the near future. I wish the new people
and give him some choice English that he may not understand. Why are you sitting here? Have you seen gold before? So you people should exercise humility, but in the interest of I don't want NDC to become a one-party government, because that inherent with it. No, I'm making your point that inherent with a one-party state is the dangers therein. We may just end up becoming like you, who forget people of Kumasi who can't get water to drink, who don't have good roads. They are happy to see the gold bar.
Thank you very much. And of course, we'll be talking about that because before LI 2462 was passed, something significant happened. That was the reports of the chairman of the MPP in the Ashanti region, a company he owns, actually entering a forest. And there was much discussion about the illegality of that move. Then that was followed by LIC's 2462 that allowed anybody who wanted to enter into the forest. MPP should be declared a criminal organization and be banned. These are the people who will never speak the truth, but they think that they are always the best kind of human beings. Nana should be prosecuted and jailed to serve as a deterrent to all corrupt presidents in Africa. Please, Ghana must lead this campaign, Mr. President Mahama. Michael Chukudo sent that from Ho in the Volta region. Sule Nyankpala says, so the MPP knows what caused their defeat.
Immediately President Mahama came to power. I also recognize that it will take time. The people who are the criminals are going to push back. They will push back in all forms, because gold is the source of all evil in this world. And unfortunately, Ghana being endowed with so much of it in and of itself presents what people have termed the Dutch disease. That is the very, very, very minerals so well armed. You saw what they did to the river guard the other day. You see what they've been doing to policemen, soldiers. You saw what happened to Major Mahama. Because they will protect that industry to the death. And I do not see why we cannot apply same to them. But of course, that is my view. That is not the view of my political party. That is not the view of the president of this republic and whom I serve. Businesses, technology belts, wouldn't we have the free zones springing up from all those places? But no, we just allow people in the timber industry today. The timber industry is virtually destroyed. Go to Kumasi, go and read the history of the timber industry in Kumasi and find out how many indigenous businessmen were doing logging as opposed to a lot of foreigners. So galamsey must end, or in the form in which it is must end. We cannot live in a country where Chinese people come to this country and come and destroy our environment at the behest to have the tools or even to have the knowledge on how to do it. All I know is that the river, sooner or later it will get to East Legon, and indeed it has, because there is a mechanism of seepage and drainage within our groundwater that transports those offending chemicals, because there is a method, or there is a method in which it transports through a semi-permeable membrane mechanism, and it will get to us. If you remember, there was a report that says outgrowers who were growing lettuce and carrots somewhere in Okonglo area, they were recording high rates of cadmium, mercury, and lead.
West, who says, you see, MPP took advantage of how Ghanaians have been deceived by them with fake messages from them before voting. Right from ages, they had been telling lies, propaganda against Kwame Nkrumah, and Ghanaians believed their lies. This made them to be dancing and still copying what NDC were promising. I think the people now knows the truth, so it will be difficult for them to bring proper messages to convince the country for their votes. Opinion. Thank you very much for that comment. A few more comments on the first topic. The MPP calls helping the forest gas with no reason being given. There's this one says, galamsey guys doing it should be arrested and made to do hard labor in the form of cleaning up the water bodies. They have destroyed it. They have destroyed. If it's a job they want, that should be the job they should be given. So that's from someone who is listening to us. Of course, this week has not been only about the galamsey fight in the Subri River Forest. It was also a matter about what happens to the Damang mines, and also the
So all these particular kinds of, sitting down and talking 19s to the dozen would be nipped to the bud, or would be nipped in the bud if indeed the president, through executive instrument, actually issued this particular state of emergency. All these kinds of nonsense will stop. So what is stopping the president from declaring state of emergency? Now that is very critical. You see, for me, I think it is an organized crime, because I've even indicated to you the level at which illegal galamsey has actually transmogrified to the when he was displaying those particular gold bars. What I know is that if indeed such situation, because every individual has their way of maybe trying to show wealth, but for me, I wouldn't even have, go into that particular tangent, because I didn't see it to be necessary. Just to come on air and to show those, to portray to people that yes, I have made it in life through gold and all that. That for me was in bad taste. Some amount of doubt.
And if you have something to
the AML Act 1044.
Okay.
It enjoins the Financial Intelligence Center to act upon information. But let me tell you where the real money laundering is going on.
Okay.
It is going in real estate. Because if you try to transport it out of the country, it will be seen and stopped immediately. It's not even a question. It will not pass go. It is being transported. Listen to me, I beg you. It is being put in real estate. Go around Accra. You see that as soon as President Mohammed became president, everybody is digging a hole to put up a building.
political football, which would not augur well for the growth of this country. Okay. That for me should be a source of worry for us. Otherwise, if we are going to begin mentioning and pointing to which particular political regime had a particular issue, none of us, the NPP and the NDC, cannot have a very good scorecard when it comes to this. So yes, they say if you are living in glass houses, you don't choose to.
So those that are still within the service, what is the guarantee? They had allowed this despicable act, the community to be established with impunity. These West African nationals to come and mine illegally on our soil. What is your guarantee that they will help this administration to deal with the issues of galamsey? And that is why, if this administration is serious, they must begin to prosecute people. The last time the Rastos of Saredonko took a tour on the Ankobra River, did he not identify someone doing an illegal mining on the Ankobra? What has happened to that person? Look, for you to must be applied, must be implemented. What is this government afraid of? But it comes back to the issue that we have been raising here always. Those that sponsor our political activities, the financiers. You dare not touch them. They are the people behind. So they finance you to win political power, and so you are afraid to go after them. And that's why we are where we are. As we speak, the NTU of our water bodies, the turbidity levels is still 14,000 NTU, which is way beyond what is acceptable. So I want to demonstrate in the area of mining issues. And what I saw regarding illegal mining, I couldn't believe it. So the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, I have said that he must not even concern himself with the rest of the country. If he is able to deal with galamsey in his own constituency alone, I will salute him. Let him let the Ankobra River be clean. As a Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, this one falls within your purview. Beyond you being a minister, you are also the MP for that area. Now, Professor from Paul Boateng did something good. And here, I could understand where are they taking to. Is it a court? So you need a judiciary that is also ready to do the do. The last time excavators were confiscated by the Forestry Commission together with the police, and the matter was sent to a court in NJ. You remember this matter? The judge miraculously initially said that excavator must be released to those galamseyers, and not just released, the police were to provide a safe and protection to the excavators to be sent to a place that cannot be destroyed. When the Ghanaians spoke, the next day, the judge came to tell us that he erred. Can you imagine? Less than 24 hours, the judge, and when you have such judges within the judiciary, why wouldn't you go into the judiciary and clear it massively? So you would need a judiciary that is headed by a competent Chief Justice. Democratic Congress.
NDC administration must handle the galamsey menace with tactfulness and high sense of professionalism. There are a lot of Ghanaians and even foreigners in the business, with some faceless, powerful individuals, which include political actors, chiefs, and opinion leaders. So the government must deal with the issues proactively. Mr. Pratt?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's region, in the Upper West region. Gold is just everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, the Eastern region, whole villages have virtually been wiped out because they are sitting on gold, and these are very poor farmers and so on. I mean, yesterday I was listening to the international news, I was listening to Al Jazeera and so on, and the price of gold is shooting through the roof because of the crazy economics of Donald Trump. You understand? So normally this should have been very good. And we're now talking about a situation where Ghana is the leading producer of gold in Africa and the 5th or 6th in the world. And this is a bonanza. This ought to provide us with resources for galamsey. Which sector of the national life has not been adversely affected by galamsey? Forever. It's one of the most sensible things I've heard, you know, about the exploitation of our gold resources. If we cannot exploit gold today for our benefit, why are we digging it? Keep it there. It will not rust. It will not go away. It will be there for hundreds of years. Let's get our act together before we start. By the time we say jack, they'll be taking over our government and running over this country. Criminal gangs will be running this country. And that is why it is important to do everything possible now to end